The fear of missing out on the playoffs continues to grow. We said a moment ago that the Mariners clinched a playoff spot. Their magic number for the American League West crown is just 2 games. Just 2. Here is Cal Raleigh celebrating the Mariners' position after last night's game. I think this is a quote from the movie Major League. Could be wrong, but here is Big Dumper himself with the Mariners a game closer to winning the AL West.
Thanks, Sam. I love you. Might as well go win the whole fucking thing.
Then he raises the trident. I mean, yeah. It's getting to that point because they clinched a playoff berth last night, in addition to having their magic number shrink to 2. Meanwhile, the Yankees even clinched a fucking playoff spot. The Yankees, who not so long ago looked to be having a meltdown that was going to keep them out of the playoffs. So it came courtesy of a walk-off with the guy that got into it once, Jose Caballero, with Framber Valdez, which led to Framber throwing at somebody. Look at that. Walk-off against the White Sox. But a walk-off nonetheless to clinch a playoff spot. They're in. Because they're taking care of business against the schlubs of baseball. The White Sox blow. The A's are frisky. They stink too relative to you. And there are no excuses on your front as far as the struggles right now. No excuse. So when I saw this from the Astros yesterday afternoon, a post with this caption: tickets for the wild card and division series are on sale now. Look at this graphic. It shows Cam Smith smiling. American League wild card, American League division series. In the politest way for me to put this possible, Astros, kindly shut the fuck up and fuck off with that. It's looking like they're going to miss the playoffs altogether. Don't post that shit. Don't do it. People are just going to get mad at you and clown you in the comments. Not worth it. And it certainly looks like it's not going to happen. So unless you're rage baiting and trying to get some more engagement, don't post shit like that. Just a thought. One more time. I mean, this is wild. Tickets on sale now. Like, yeah, I'd hope they'd be on sale. I hope I can get a refund if I bought them already. How are the Astros feeling after the most recent loss? Here is Astros manager Joe Espada after the game, being asked a variety of different questions.
Yeah, not much offensively. You know, we got to get our bats going here. We're running out of days, running out of games. We need just more consistent quality of bats, and when we do that, we're in good shape. But just today wasn't the case.
How much did the pop-up at the beginning of the game sort of, set the tone, give them a little bit of
I don't think it did. It just happens here all the time. It's just really difficult to see the ball in the first couple innings, and that we just couldn't score enough runs. That's it.
Excuses? No, he dodged it. It's not the fielding. It's the fact that we couldn't score. And it's true. I mean, 3 hits and 2 of them were by Christian Walker.
I understand you guys have had injuries. You're missing Jordan right now. Pena didn't play it. But how can you explain just the last 2 or 3 months, just the lack of run production and what's happened to your lineup?
You know what? I am going to speak to, a few months ago, we were scoring runs and we were doing some things offensively, just creating enough consistency for us to, win games in a row and win series in a row. Yeah, that we're missing some bats and we miss some players. Yeah, but, we do have enough talent in that room to overcome those challenges, and that hasn't been the case, day in, day out. We just got to find some quality at bats here in the next 5 games and make a strong push.
Does that sound like a guy who's in firm command of his job going forward? Truly, I couldn't tell you. I think the speculation is merely speculation at this moment in time, but I think it's interesting coming from that one specific person who's a little bit more connected, a little bit more from Joe Espada, who's basically saying, yeah, we got to fucking hit.
Feel at all like everything that you guys have kind of had to fight through so far and all the absences and stuff that might just be catching up at the end of the year?
Listen, this is the sprint to the end, man. This is what it takes. And every team is fatigued. Every team is, no one is 100%. We got to dig deep inside of us and see how badly what we want it. That's what it comes down to.
All right. Got to dig down deep. That's what it comes down to. All right. Well, good luck. Because it ain't happening. More depressed Houston Astros after last night's game. Here is Christian Walker talking about Houston's struggles specifically at the plate.
Got a couple games here over the next 5 games.
Yeah, it is what it is. I fully plan on handling all these games the way we've been handling games all year. There's no question that there's a lot on the line. But a conversation we have often amongst ourselves is, does trying harder help? A game September 24th matters just as much as a game April 24th. So I think for us, it's about staying the course. We've been a good team all year. We prepare the right way. We work hard. We're ready for this moment. We're ready to get hot and earn our way into the postseason. We just, got to trust that.
That's a question I got to ask myself. Does trying harder help when you're putting together this show and you got all these audio clips and video clips that you want to play? Something you always did more of than all the other shows you worked with combined. Does it matter? All this effort you're putting into it now, especially? Are you overcompensating because you don't have a job, Paul? I like Christian Walker's honesty here. I mean, yeah, does trying harder make you do better? Does pressing more? No, it probably makes you worse, honestly. But the offense has been just such a disaster for such a long time this season. And the health, it's a factor, but it's not the entire thing here. More from Christian Walker.
We're ourselves out there, and everything will be all right.
Is there anything that you think has kind of stood between you guys and just like the consistent offensive production that you've been working for? I mean, because it's been there at times, like in Texas Birds, but just the consistency hasn't been there. Is there a reason for that?
To be honest, it's a good question. I don't have an answer to that at the moment. I know I can speak on myself. I have not been as consistent as I should have been this year. I feel like it's been trending in the right direction, but that's what we're doing every day. We're working as hard as we can to. Yeah, you want to have a good game, you want to have success, but how do I do it over 162, over 6 months? How am I the best version of myself every day? Cut the cold streaks short, keep the hot streaks going an extra day or two, anything you can, but. I'll get back to you on that for sure.
You guys talk about yourselves about just trying harder help. But I guess do you sense that there are guys, or like as a collective team, there is maybe a trying harder, maybe that's a pressing thing that's going on? Do you sense that happening?
It could be. I think we all put a lot of pressure on ourselves anyway. And then you add the meaningfulness of the games. You add the back end of the year where you're a little bit more tired, you're a little bit more fatigued, so you're trying to make up for that. I think it's a natural thing. We want pressure, we crave pressure, game on the line, I want to be the one hitting. You know, it's like there's things that you embrace in this game when it comes to putting pressure on yourself. So it's a hard thing to navigate where, like, I want to feel the weight of the moment. I think that brings the best out of us to a certain extent. Where it turns to pressing, that's everybody's got to answer that question on their own. And, you know, it's does a little more heightened awareness help sometimes? For sure. I think it's trying to figure out when it just turns into, you know, maybe a little out of control or trying to do too much. Or it's a tough line. That's what makes this game hard and beautiful is trying to navigate the effort level and over the course of, you know, a long season.
That entire line of questioning and all of Christian Walker's honest answers, depressing as hell. It's really the only way you can look at it. Extremely depressing to hear all of that. I mean, it could be worse. You could be the Detroit Tigers, who blew a 2-0 lead in the 6th inning against the Cleveland Guardians. They lost their 7th game in a row. They're now in first place in the American League Central. And their tiebreaker with Cleveland, non-existent. Pretty crazy to see what's going on with Detroit. So I guess it could be worse right now, but the Tigers are a game up on you in the wild card, and they have the tiebreaker, so they technically have a 1.5 game lead.